Hello, everybody.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
So, today is the first episode of reading Tao Te Ching. Is the ancient Chinese book written by mysterious man Lao Tzu. It's written in 81 short chapters, and yeah, it's a discovery for me. I will read it the first time.
Lao Tzu is a figure that almost mixes with legends. He's supposed to be a contemporary from Confucius and is considered to be the founding father of Taoism. Um, Legend says that he lived in the land of Chu in the kingdom of Zhou and during the dynasty of the Han. About 600 years before Jesus Christ, before our era. Um, yeah,
Oh wow! Yeah, so Tao Te Ching was translated many times. All the translations are different because it's hard to translate from ancient languages. So I will read chapter one, translated by Victor H. Mayer in 1990. Uh, let's see. The ways that can be walked are not the eternal way. The names that can be named are not the eternal name. The nameless is the origin of the myriad creatures. The named is the mother of the myriad creatures. Therefore, always be without desire, in order to observe its wondrous subtleties. Always have desire, so that you may observe its manifestations. Both of these derive from the same source. They have different names, but the same designation. Mystery of mysteries, the gate of all wonders. Well, yeah, a lot to unpack here.
what did you think of it?
I think each sentence is a subject for interpretation, like based on your experiences. Like, how do you see the beginning? The ways that can be walked are not the eternal way.
To me, it defines who we are in the sense that it is not the path that we walk that defines our inner self, in the sense that eternal way would be our personification.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
it does.
For example, um, I'll give you an example that's a little bit personal. Um, when I write poetry, there is an attempt to reach to, I wouldn't say immortality, but rather eternity. And obviously, nothing is eternal, but it is the fact to try to reach that in somehow is the motor of my endeavor, which means that everything that I do in life, everything that happens to me in life, does not define what I am trying to reach to.
Hmm. I think that, to me personally, the ways that can be walked are not the eternal way, is everything that we do, all the roads we choose, however good or bad, they, are, they will not last forever, they are not the eternity. They will all be forgotten one day. They will all be gone. It doesn't matter what we do. They are all subject to entropy. They will just like within, like at best, in
Then,
1,000 years, nobody will know the ways we walked.
then the big question is, what is eternity? Well, what is the eternal way?
Well, I guess Lao Tzu will explain it later on in the book.
Well, I think, I think, if we
Hmm.
take it by your definition, the eternal way will be the cycle of life and death, in the sense that in 1,000 years,
Hmm.
if nobody remembers us, it's because there will still be people to be conscious of thought, like being able
Hmm.
to remember,
Yeah,
but they wouldn't remember us specifically. And that part indeed would mean the eternal way. The fact that story keeps on going on even if the past becomes, well, in the case of Lao Tzu, a legend.
I think no, like the way I see the eternal way is something that is beyond the experience, you know, beyond future. Like the nothingness is eternal because it has no beginning or the end. It doesn't exist. It's nothingness. And okay, contradictory to that, it doesn't exist. It's nothing. Yet it is still eternal. You know, like it doesn't come to the end because it doesn't exist.
Well, if it doesn't have
And
any beginning, it doesn't have any end. That is for
yeah,
sure. In that
yeah,
case, yes, indeed, that is eternal.
yeah. The book started really heavy. How do you like the second line? The name that can be named is not the eternal name. Isn't it kind of the same, but just before that it was the roads we took and chose, and now how we specify or describe what we chose, the names we give to certain actions, the speech is not eternal.
Personally, it reminds me of Romeo and Juliet, Shakespeare, when they mention the rose. Is a rose because it is called a rose, or is it a rose just because it is what it is? And that's what I think it means, like when I hear that sentence, it's not because, for example, people call me Cordelh that
Hmm.
this word defines who I am. Um, the 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 true definition of who I am is actually nameless, basically.
Yeah, there was something else that caught my eye. Always be without desire in order to observe its wondrous subtleties, but always have desire so that you may observe its manifestations. I need to reflect on it further. In order to observe, you have to in order to see the little details, you have to have no desire. But to have desire, you will see its manifestations. Hmm.
In many ways, it's a
Uh,
concept that's used in many aspects of our societies, you know.
yeah.
For example, to judge someone, one has to be detached, or if a doctor has to heal someone or operate someone, usually they don't make them operate their family member. You know, that there is
Mm-hmm.
a detachment that is required to do the objective thing. Personally, I feel like the second sentence that follows it is extremely important because it reflects the duality of this thought. Indeed, for seeing the true nature of things, one has
Mm-hmm.
to detach oneself from the, the
Desire.
desire, but then the second sentence kind of shows the duality of it, you know, because it's not purely that, it's always have desires so that you may observe its manifestation. And I think that means very much that one has to be somehow detached of the desire, the, the, the emotional link to be able to see
Mm-hmm.
something, but at the same time, one has to always seek the opportunity to observe the manifestation of the wondrous subtleties. You know, yeah, it's a question of curiosity with a sort of detachment. It's quite a cold concept, to be honest. I am
Mm-hmm.
not 100% agreeing with it because in many ways I
Uh,
feel like humanity has this need to be attached. You know.
MacDonald in 96 translated this part differently. Freed from desire, you can see the hidden mystery, the hidden one. By having desire, you can only see what is visibly real.
Hmm. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's interesting.
Extremely, extremely deep thought to reflect. I freed from desire, I don't want to observe. That's the thing, personally. Like I can observe, but with detachment, yet it loses its meaning. It's mm, for
I
like
I'm not convinced anybody can be
mm,
freed from desire. You know, uh, those
yeah.
are. I see texts such as these like guidelines, not as rules to be followed. You know, it's more something that one has to reflect about, and perhaps in certain events, well, that reflection helps to do something. But I wouldn't say that anybody should be expected to follow those guidelines to the letter. I mean, well,
But mystery of all mysteries is the gate to wonders. Mm, that is, or translated later on, darkness born from darkness, the beginning of all understanding. I would merge those two translations. Following following the mystery would be the beginning for understanding. It's it sounds to me like the call for life, actually. Going into the unknown would would be uh, the beginning of understanding, the beginning of knowledge. Going into the unknown bravely. So the end is kind of It sounds to me very optimistic. You probably have completely different view on the ending.
No, it's not specifically different view. It's I'm thinking a bit of the nature of their darkness, mystery, void, and all
Mm.
the adjectives that are used for this. And I keep thinking to myself that if a human being builds a house, four walls and a roof, it is the void within those four walls and the roof that is the home. And when I hear sentences like void within void, mysteries of mysteries, or something like that, to me that's very much what it means. It's what is our true nature, and our true nature is not the four walls and the roof, it's what's hidden within, and what's hidden within is built within the void inside that construction. If that makes sense, of course. I don't know if it does.
It does. It does. So I guess that's it for today. High five.
High five!
Mm. Okay, guys, check out the links below to Cordel's YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, Pinder Poet Society. Like, subscribe, everything, and thank you for being with us. And see
Thank
you in the next
you.
video.
Goodbye. See you soon for the next chapter of the Tao Te Ching,
Dao. Yeah.
the Book of the Void. Bye bye.
Bye.